prop I was going to use I don't have because it's being used. You got a cell phone on?
I do.
Yeah? Can I have it for a second? I won't call anybody and I won't
It's
answer.
turned off.
And I won't answer anything.
I told you I was turning it off so it wouldn't interrupt you. So.
Oh, that's right. You did say that, so thank you very much. So, cell phones, and anybody have a smartphone with them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I see yours? Feels like we're in class.
Yeah.
We have everybody's stuff. And Jake's got my smartphone because he's recording that. These things and tablets and personal computers and all of these various things can be connected with social networks. Social networks is what we're talking about. And there's lots and lots of social networks. There's like Facebook and LinkedIn and Google Plus. And what these have is a capability of, if this makes no sense to you, that's okay. Because the next part will. I hope. What all of these things can do is they take a giant group of contacts or friends or a phone book and piece them out into various subgroups. All right? So, actually, it's better to just do it with the commercial, and then maybe we'll understand it.
It's your social network, all mixed together. With Galaxy Nexus by Samsung, now you can organize your contacts into circles, like you do in real life. So you can choose what people see and what they don't. And with the speed of Verizon 4G LTE, you can chat as a group in a Google Plus Hangout without missing a beat. Introducing the first phone built for Android 4.0, only at Verizon.
So that gives a little description, all right? So you can, and the key was that you can let some people see what you're doing and others not. Okay? And that's kind of a key part of this. Because if you toss some stuff out into a social network, it basically gets what we would call gossip. Right? It's turned around and all that stuff they share. Well, Jesus was a master at making circles. He had lots and lots of different circles of people, all of whom he had a very, very personal relationship with. So it's not like these are folks that he has no idea who they are, which can happen on Facebook and LinkedIn and all those. Yeah, friend me, and we have no idea who they really are. Jesus had a personal relationship with every single one of them. This is from Luke chapter 6. Now during those days, Jesus went out to the mountain to pray. And he spent the night in prayer to God. And when day came, he called his disciples and chose 12 of them, whom he also named apostles. There is a nuance in that pair of verses. Jesus went to the mountain, prayed to God, and then called his disciples, and out of all of them chose 12. This implies that there were a lot more disciples than just 12, right? But he chose 12 out of the however many there were. We have no clue, but he chose 12 out of those, and he made a smaller circle, and he called them apostles. So disciples are people like learners, and apostles are sharers, or messengers, or teachers. Okay, so he had these followers, and he named some of them, you are going to go be some teachers. If you go a little bit later in the Gospel of Luke to chapter 9, instead of 12, Jesus takes Peter, John, and James onto a mountain to pray. So now he's reduced from this group of disciples that we don't know is how big, to this group of 12 apostles, another smaller unit, to this 3 of his closest friends. And if you read the Gospel of John, there is a single best friend that Jesus has. And he's referred to as the beloved, or the one whom Jesus loved the most. So Jesus had all these various units going on, but this is the coolest one. Well, they're all cool, but this one's pretty neat. Soon afterwards, he went on through the cities and villages, proclaiming and bringing the good news of the kingdom of God. The 12 were with him, as well as some women who had been cured of evil spirits and infirmities. Well, that doesn't matter as much. Mary, called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had gone out, and Joanna, the wife of Herod's steward, Chuza, and Susanna, and many others. But here's the kicker: who provided for them out of their resources. The women are the financiers for Jesus' ministry. The women took all the stuff that they had, all their dowries, anything that they had, and made sure that Jesus and the disciples and the apostles were cared for. They were the ones who would have gone ahead and found ways to make bread for them and maybe find a lamb or a goat and prepare dinner before they ever got there. These women were the financiers, and they had a special circle with Jesus. There were these other social circles that Jesus had. There were the people that Jesus healed. Jairus' daughter, who was dying. There was a man with a withered hand, a woman who was bleeding for 12 years, and a man of Gerasenes who had a mental illness. All of these people. Another different social network, a different circle that Jesus had. Jesus had very, very personal friends. Mary, Martha, Lazarus. Right? He called them friends. He went and ate with them. It was like on his day off, that's where he went and chilled out. Because he knew that nothing was expected of him in a different way. You sort of get the idea of these different circles? Okay. I'd like you to think of some of the circles that you have. What are some circles that you're in?
Co-workers.
Co-workers, great.
And then the most favorite co-worker.
Okay, so there's co-workers, and then within that, there's the most favorite co-worker that you can confide, or, yeah, okay, I get that. What else? Who else? What other circles?
Classmates.
Classmates. Good. What else?
Family.
Family? Parents. Okay, who else?
Grandkids.
Grandkids. Some neighbors are another circle. What other circles? Motorcycle friends. What other kind of circles? Students. Numbskulls. Yeah. What other kind of friends? Students. Church friends. What else?
Knitting friends.
Knitting friends.
Mahjong group.
Pardon?
Mahjong group.
Mahjong group or a card group. Okay. Awesome.
Bible study.
Bible study group. Okay. Good. That means that you've gotten all the ones that I thought of. That's great. Have you noticed that, and you may not have noticed this, so I'm going to challenge you to think about this. We all act a little bit differently in every group that we're in. We show a little bit of a different side of ourselves, depending on what group we're in, right? And yet it's still us. Right? It's still us, but in this group, I'm going to show me as this. And that's not a bad thing. We reveal what we choose to. How about this? Have you realized that within each of those circles you have influence? And the influence may be as small as you being there. Or not. His dynamics change when one person is missing. You have influence in all the different circles that you are in. Which means you have lots and lots of opportunities to use that influence. You have lots of opportunities to show love, lots of opportunities to embody grace, lots of opportunities to ask tough questions. Some of these circles you can hold people's feet to the fire. Right? Keep them accountable. In some, you can challenge them to live in a little different way. Jesus used all of those. All of those throughout his ministry, which is why it's so hard to grab Jesus. You can't say, here's the box, and this is the way he always acts. Because sometimes he's really upset. Other times he's crying. Other times he's challenging somebody to live in a brand new way. Sometimes all he does is hug somebody and cry with them. You can't put a box on him. Just like nobody can really put a box around you. Because in all these different places, in all these different circles that you interact, you're a little bit different here. So this week, make a conscious effort to look at the circles that you're within. And as you look at those circles, discover who you are within those circles. And then hang on to this next sentence. And because it's a little tricky. Within those circles, and when you discover who you are within those circles, allow people to love you for who they think you are. Not for who you are. Not for who you think you are. For who they think you are. Allow people to love you for who they think you are. And in the midst of all of it, live knowing that you are in Jesus' circle of intimate